Hey, SpeakEasy Podcast listeners, I am excited to come to you with another episode of the #SpeakEasy Podcast. Listen, we have been hearing stories from phenomenal women all over who are doing some great things. Guys, if you have not tapped into this series, I don't know what it is that you're waiting on. Go ahead and make sure that you're tapping in, listening in, because, whoo, man, the stories have been phenomenal. But this is the thing. I want you not just listen to the story. I want you to understand that it can be for you. These women are women who know what it is that what it takes to go through and actually be an entrepreneur. They support entrepreneurs. And that's why I'm excited about my guest for today. Hello, Brooke. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I'm excited about this episode because Brooke has a whole line of things that inspire and empower bold and fearlessness in female entrepreneurs, which is crazy because when we think about the entrepreneurial journey, man, we need some support. We need a cheerleading squad at times. And sometimes wearing that shirt, having that mug, is going to be the thing that kind of sparks your joy for that day, sparks your motivation for that day. And so I think this is going to be a great episode for you guys. And then we may even get into a little bit of stuff, how she started this company as well, right? Brooke, I am excited and thank you for joining us for this episode. Let the studio audience know a little bit about you and then we'll go ahead and dive into today's topic.
Thank you so much for having me. So my name is Brooke Strauss-Dobi, and I'm the owner of Bold-in-her-biz, which, like you said, is a line of t-shirts, mugs, and tote bags. And I'll probably add some other products down the road as well, maybe some leggings and, sweatshirts and all that. But yeah, I'm super excited about this brand. I launched a few months ago, and it's kind of an extension of my other business. I've had my VA or virtual assistant business for almost 6 years. And so that's kind of what led me to Bold-in-her-biz.
Oh, that's a great place to start. So it started with the virtual assistant. And for those of you as entrepreneurs, man, having a virtual assistant can mean everything for your business because at some point you want to scale and you cannot do it all. I've gone through and I've had that experience of trying to do it myself, and I've had the experience of having VAs. And having VAs really does take it to another level because now you can really be in your zone of greatness. So, what led you to starting the VA company? And then we'll talk about how it transitioned into, you doing these mugs and t-shirts.
Yeah. So like many other, a lot of VAs have a very similar story as mine, where I was pregnant with my daughter, who's 7 now, but I was at the end of my pregnancy and I wasn't tied to a job at that time. And I really wanted to keep her home with me and not have to put her in daycare. So I started Googling, legit ways to make money online, and I never heard of the VA industry. And I found a couple of temporary jobs, not in the VA world. And then they ended. And then that's when I really got into my Google search further. And I stumbled upon the VA world, and the rest was history. It really made sense for me. I was always a creative person, and I always felt trapped in my 9-to-5 jobs, as a lot of people feel. And my dad owned some businesses when I was growing up. So I think the entrepreneurial bug was kind of in me already. So when I stumbled upon that world, it just made sense. It just made sense. And the rest was history.
I love that. I know a lot of women, especially now with everything that we've been through in the last year or so when it comes to COVID, they're kind of questioning, do I want to do this job anymore? Or, I'm about to retire. What do I want to do next? And so, even though there's still many people that don't know about that whole VA industry, I think it's an amazing opportunity because you have so many people that they're like, all I want to do is support somebody else. I don't necessarily want to do my own thing. So it gives you that opportunity to still work for yourself and work from home and be able to support another person. Now, for you, Brooke, though, it sparked something else. It sparked this whole other company. So how did that spark happen?
Yeah. So along my VA journey, I learned about like e-commerce and, selling products. And then, like I mentioned before, I've always been a creative soul since I was a kid. Like I always loved dancing and creative writing. And I took like some acting classes when I was in my 20s. I've taken improv, and I love entertaining and performing. I used to be in bands. I used to perform spoken word poetry. So like, that's what I always wanted to do. And so when I came up with, let me rewind. Yeah. So I love doing the VA thing, but there was something that was missing for me. It just wasn't, it can be creative, but it wasn't like my business and my, being able to really have my voice in it. And then knowing what I know about e-commerce and products, I don't know, the idea just came to me back in the fall. And it's really awesome because through this brand, I'm going to be very soon, using my creative passions in video, like on TikTok and IG Reels, to reflect the messaging of bold-in-her-biz. So it's kind of like a way for me to, use my creative passions, but at the same time have a product. The product is really the main part, but I get to do what I really love to do, for this brand.
I love that. Because we have so many opportunities that open up when we say yes to the things that really do inspire us. And so with that being said, man, bold-in-her-biz. For female entrepreneurs, we know that there are some key things that really stand out to us. I am definitely a t-shirts girl. And so it's funny because when I first came into entrepreneurship and I was speaking, I had people who were just like, oh, you need to have on a dress, and you need to have on a blazer, and you need to have this, and you need to have that. And I was like, but why? I mean, I can do the blazer, but why does it have to be a dress shirt? And why does it have to be this? And, I guess I rebelled a little bit. So I was always loving the idea of the women in these bold t-shirts, even if you had to do a blazer, or just these bold t-shirts and the looks that really, they were able to stand in because they were conveying a message. And that was so significant for a lot of people because people sum you up before they even talk to you, before they even find out your name, before they meet you. They sum you up when they first see you. And so how important is it for you to have that bold message speaking for you before you even open your mouth? I absolutely love that.
I love that too. And I was talking just to someone like 2 days ago about this, about how, like we write affirmations down, right? And we say affirmations. And this is kind of like another form of that, really. It's like your affirmation, but it's like in your fashion. So I think it's just a cool thing. And it really, it pumps you up. Like whatever you're wearing, it can pump you up, or it can kind of do the opposite, right? Like if, when you're in one of the moods, if it's like a rainy day, or you're just like blah, feeling blah, and you're like in a big sweater and a big, big sweatpants, and it's cozy, right? But it doesn't really make you feel so good when you're dressed like that, right? But when you put on something that makes you feel really confident and really good, I think it changes your mood and your mindset.
Oh, great. So now, but what is next? So I know that you right now have a few different items that you're selling, but what is that like heart project for you when it comes to bold-in-her-biz?
Honestly, I would say these videos that I'm going to be doing soon, and I'm so excited about them. I'm like, I get all my best ideas when I'm falling asleep or waking up or in the shower. And I've been getting all these ideas during those moments. And I'm excited about them because, like I said, they'll represent the messaging of the brand, but it kind of takes it into like a more deeper level, because I'll be doing like skits and things like that on TikTok and IG Reels that are going to kind of talk about, you know, like women and, you know, self-esteem and like our inner voices, how we have like that inner voice critic inside us, like how you mentioned before. It's not an easy walk, you know, it's not an easy walk. And so I think for women, especially when you're having those times when it's tough in your business walk in that journey, a lot of it, I think, is just our mindset and that inner voice inside us and that voice of doubt and that voice of fear. And so realizing that, I started getting all these ideas for these videos, and it's going to be kind of not poking fun at it, but it's going to be like an entertaining way of just kind of like talking about it and getting the conversation going. Because I think it's a really important conversation. Like you said, you can't always feel so confident and always feel bold. And, you know, that's what the t-shirts are for, to pump you up and be like a cheerleader. But at the same time, I think women just really need to support each other so much. And so for me, this is like a way of me supporting, you know, other female entrepreneurs.
I love it. So this is why this is so significant for me, guys. I am, again, like I said, I'm a t-shirt girl, but I've come across some brands that the messaging on their shirts are simply amazing. And like, they're shirts that I wear, and I love the messaging because it not only inspires me, but as a woman, I have children. And so when I'm inspiring me, I'm also inspiring them. And, you know, because I'm like, okay, you be very cognizant of what it is that you wear, what you put on your body. That's been a message that I've always kind of relayed to them throughout their childhood. I have two that are adults, one that's about to be an adult, and then one that's, listen, not too far off. And their perspective when it comes to valuing their body, valuing their mindset, their creativity, saying yes to opportunities and doing some things that other people may shy away from. It speaks so loud because they can look at different things going on in the world, look at different things going on, even in the, you know, the smaller entities of their world, their school, their neighborhood, their family, and they can kind of see it from a different perspective, and they have empathy. And so I love that there are brands that are specifically designed to kind of just say, you know what, let's get back to the empathy. Let's get back to the motivation. Let's get back to the support, because it's needed. It's necessary now more than ever. Women are doing some phenomenal things. And listen, that's one of the reasons why we did this series, is so we can give women their flowers. So thank you for creating this. And I see it as being something even bigger, because I see a bold-in-her-biz conference. Like, as soon as you said it, and, you know, looking at what it is that you've been doing, I just see it as being something so big, because that's what it is. It's creating that boldness, creating that confidence within ourselves, and then spreading it.
I love that.
To others. And so I was just like, ooh, yeah.
I love that. And I love what you were saying too about, you know, how our children, you know, our kids are watching us. And I have a 7-year-old daughter, and I don't know if you had a chance to see, I have a girls t-shirt collection. Did you see the girls? Yeah. So like, yeah. I realized, you know, like she's watching me, and I realized like, wow, it's so amazing how, especially now with the female vice president, with little girls and teenagers, they can really see like they honestly can do or be anything they want, and they need to really know that. And so that sparked my, you know, my idea for the girls t-shirt collection, which I'm really excited about also.
I love this. Okay, so now I know people are going to ask this, and I cannot let you leave off this episode without asking this question. when it came to starting Bold in Her Biz, what was the first thing that you did? Because I know some people are like, okay, so do I raise money first? Do I create the design first? Do I market it first? Like, where do I start if I'm saying, you know what, I got a message and I think it would look good on a shirt or a cup or something, even on a journal, I think this message would really stand out.
Yeah. So I really just started like brainstorming ideas for the slogans, because I knew that was the most important part. And so I wrote a whole bunch of those down, and they were just really pouring out of me. and then I focused on the design. And then after that, I guess because I'm already kind of tech savvy from my VA years, it wasn't hard for me to, set up a Shopify store and do that, because it's already in me to do that. So, but, or if you don't know how to do that, I would say just start with the idea first, and, get the designs ready, get the product ready, whatever you're doing. And then get the website up, because you definitely need that. And then worry about the marketing later.
I love that, guys. So, because some of you, we think about, oh, I gotta get, I gotta go ahead and market it, or I gotta think about the colors, and I gotta think about, oh my goodness, and then we end up stressing out, right?
Yeah.
We end up getting to a point where we're like, this is frustrating, and it started out as a heart project, and now we're like, okay, I'm gonna put this down. So some of you that may be listening to this particular episode may have something that you're like, you knew that it was a great quote or a great something, and you're like, you put it on the shelf. Maybe now is the time for you to go and kind of dust it off the shelf, dust it off, go ahead, relook at it and say, let me put a brand new fire under this and see what I can do with it.
Yeah. And I would say, plus you have to take baby steps. It's all about the baby steps. You take off one little chunk at a time, and then it's less overwhelming about getting it going.
Indeed. And so, SpeakEasy Podcast listeners, this is all about you. Why? Because guess what? There would be no SpeakEasy Podcast without you. So we appreciate each and every one of you that leave us reviews on your favorite podcasting platforms, as well as those of you who join the community to tell us about how these episodes are resonating with you. But Brooke, I want you to let them know how they can reach out to you online and connect with you, and also how they can get their own things from Bold in Her Biz.
Yeah, so my website is easy to remember, bold-in-her-biz.com. So bold-in-her-biz.com. And if you want to reach out and connect, you can get to my Instagram from my website. And my handle's the same for Instagram, bold-in-her-biz. And I just love talking to people. And also, I'm so glad that I met you on Clubhouse. That's how we met, right? Yeah, definitely Clubhouse. Yeah. So if you're on Clubhouse, actually, it's not, my handle's not Bold in Her Biz, but you can always DM me through Instagram. And I love chatting with women, and I love supporting them as well.
I love it. And so, guys, you're going to see more, and you're going to see more of her stuff, because I'm going to be sharing it out on my timeline and on my page, because again, I support what it is that Brooke is doing when it comes to being able to encourage other female entrepreneurs. Guys, this has been an amazing episode. Make sure that you go back, you take notes, hit that pause button, rewind. It's okay. We want to make sure that you are getting exactly what it is that you need. Why? Because it's all about elevating in life and in business. With that being said, guys, you have an amazing rest of your day or rest of your week. And until next time, don't forget to press it out. See ya.